Another day, another story. I know why we never returned to the moon, part 2. The flight to the moon took roughly 3 days. After arriving, we made a couple of orbits around it. Each time we flew behind the horizon created by the moon itself, I felt a bit of helplessness when our communication to the whole world went dark, as the signal got obscured by the spherical mass of rock and dust below us. The dark side of the moon was nothing like the light side, which we see on almost a daily basis. Instead of smooth gray fields and tranquil lunar seas, it was completely covered in dark, deep craters and holes, like as if it was being slowly eaten away by the universe itself. It was finally decided to begin the descent to the surface. Me and Carver exchanged wishes of good luck with Ackermann, and in the lunar module named Karen we separated from the CSM named Trinity. After we announced Karen has touched down, our response wasn't cheers and applause, but just mere "This is Trinity, congratulations Karen. I'll relay the news on the other side. Be safe out there pals." Just like that we became cut off from the rest of the world. Ackermann was our only link. While he was above the light side, he could communicate with ground command, and while above the dark side he could communicate with us. Never both at once. Even though the CSM's orbital period was roughly 2 hours, we would be in touch for only about 35 minutes each orbit. We landed on a flat plane inside a huge crater. Contrary to what some people believe, the sun shines at the dark side of the moon the same way as the light side. The amount of light depends on the lunar phase. It was still shining daylight in the place where we landed, but we knew that it would go dark in a few days. I felt excited and curious about what awaits us in this alien world. We waited for about an hour and a half to get the command's reply from Ackermann and spent the time by preparing our suits. Command sends their congratulations. You're to proceed with the recovery. Everything was dead silent as I stepped on the surface of the moon. I tried to think of something excessively inspiring to say, but that those times were already over. With Carver, we assembled the rover, and after planting our flag next to our spacecraft, we drove off. As we drove across the surface, I saw what I thought was a flash, like a glare reflected by something metallic in the far distance. Since it was fairly common to see flashes of light because of an interesting physical phenomenon caused by the space radiation interacting with our eyes, I didn't give it much thought and soon forgot about it. After driving for a couple of hours, we reached the satellite, or what was left of it. We immediately noticed that something wasn't right. There were dozens of footprints around the probe, leading to a set of 2 tracks, dragging out into the distance. "What the hell is this?" asked Carver in disbelief. "I don't know, but it seems that somebody got what we came for before us," I replied. Both the tracks and the footprints were different than ours. Whoever took the data wasn't here under the American flag. As I expected, we didn't find the data box. We found the part where it was supposed to be, but it was missing. Luckily for us, we were just in contact with Ackermann, so we reached out to him to describe our findings. "This doesn't make any sense. Who would take it? Russians? They don't even have a lunar program. Even if somebody took it, how could we not be aware of that? How can the Russians land on the moon without us noticing?" He responded. "As far as we know, the Russians have no idea that we are here, said Carver over the radio. "We're going to follow the trail I cut off their conversation." "Are you guys sure about this?" asked Ackermann. "Hell, I'm not sure about this. We're clearly missing something here. But I'll do as you say, Cap," responded Carver. "Yes. If whatever was on that probe was so important for 2 countries to send people here to retrieve it, we have to find out what happened to it," I replied. "Copy that, Karen. I'll relay your whereabouts to command as soon as I can. Be careful out there." Our oxygen was about at half capacity now, but we moved on with hopes of solving this mystery. Thank you for watching.